We shall see. Next, Dundee United back in the top flight and up against the champions at Tannadice. A return to league action for Celtic after an eventful couple of weeks.
It's Burke. That's a great penalty. They finished Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 1.
Celtic defender Bolly Bolingoli travelled to Spain without the club's knowledge, failed to quarantine on his return, and then played some of his club's match against Kilmarnock.
Bolly has apologised for what he's called a major error of judgment.
We can't have privileged football players just deciding that they're not going to bother.
Absolutely livid, appalled.
Has begun disciplinary action against Aberdeen and Celtic for alleged breaches of COVID-19 protocol.
It was a rout from Neil Lennon's side. Celtic 6, Kia Reykjavik 0.
I'm happy with the squad for where we are at the minute. We're doing okay.
Dundee United make 3 changes from the side that beat Ross County. Jamie Robson, Lewis Nielsen and Nicky Clark all in. Sporl, Freeman and Appere all drop out. Celtic were comfortable midweek in European action against Kia Reykjavik. 9 of the 11 start once more. El Hamid and Forrest drop onto the bench. It was a first start this season for Olivier Encham, and Jeremy Frimpong also returns. Fair to say that Dundee United would not have thought they'd be leading Celtic by 2 places and 3 points coming into their 5th Scottish Premiership fixture of their return. But then again, nothing is normal about 2020. Celtic themselves have had a 13-day domestic absence as Scott Brown leads them onto the field. Our referee is Andrew Dallas, last at Tannadice back in January. As has become the norm, social justice is at the forefront of everybody's minds. Underway at Tannadice for the first time between these two sides since January of 2016. Dundee United have no players playing today that featured either on the bench or in the starting lineup for Celtic. Callum McGregor is the only one in the starting 11 who plays again today. James Forrest was on the bench that day, and that's where he is again today. Nielsen's throw, Harkes comes short. Back towards Harkes. Peter Pollitt's out wide, early chance for Dundee United. Good stretch and turn behind by Julien. Well, almost the perfect opening minute for Dundee United. First corner of the afternoon. And Lewis Nielsen was up. Mickey Mellon looking to become the first manager to win his first ever game against Celtic since Alex Neil did it back in 2014 with Hamilton. Robson. Clark gets on the end of it. The 1-2 is through onto Pollitt. Peter Pollitt trying to hold off Frimpong coming back, and the free kick will go against Peter Pollitt. Jeremy Frimpong used his pace to get in front. He got caught initially the wrong side, but did so well to get his body in the way. As the ball's teased into the middle, it's an important header by Robson. Read the danger at the back post when Christie was in. Frimpong, short to Encham. Encham plays it back through. Ryan Christie into the box. That might fall Celtic's way. And Edouard came through and lashed it in a moment of panic and danger for Dundee United. Well, it's a big test for Dundee United to have the champions come to town. But so far, they're up for it. Facing a Celtic side who are in their 9 title-winning seasons, have scored 800 league goals. Conceded just 218 in the same time. Dundee United though looking for a breakthrough. Ian Harkes. Harkes sends it on the outside. Bolton steadies himself. Well, there was options left and right. Logan Chalmers was on the left. Luke Bolton was on the right. Mickey Mellon making his mark in Scottish football. Mark Reynolds has a winning goal already this term. And again, Ilianusi gets the first header away, and Celtic will chase. all the way to the Dundee United half. Frimpong just overhit that. Still might find near beat on though. Dundee United are caught slightly slack at the back. Inside it comes, and the goalkeeper to the rescue. Elyounoussi sliding in. Well, it certainly looked a little bit offside. Luke Bolton was slightly surprised, but you've got to go after the ball. Decisions not come your way. That's good goalkeeping in the end. McGregor and Brown. Christie comes short, rolls his man, gets the ball out. Elyounoussi. On the overlap is Taylor. Connolly with a block. Falls to Celtic at the edge of the box. It's Christie again. It's great footwork. It's a terrific save as well for the goalkeeper. And then Frimpong followed through. Connolly in some pain. There's a fine save from Benjamin Siegrist. Well, then Elyounoussi brought in his man. You could see just a little touch across. It was the deflection that caused the problem. Brown wins the header. Elyounoussi was all alone. Flicks it off. Edouard is there, cuts inside. It's another good save from the goalkeeper. Well, that big left hand of his has seen some work this afternoon. It's another good save. Edouard steadied himself. Goalkeeper out, down well. Does look like Ryan Christie was walking into an office there. It's a pretty good picture in the corner. Christie lifts it in. Vito can't bring it under control. Hartz gets it away. And Bolton pushed to the ground. The referee said he was causing the problem. Celtic move it quickly. Ryan Christie. Rising all the way from Ryan Christie. Well, stepped away. And Shamlo run over it, delivered in. Wasn't the best delivery in the world. And the referee decides that the first half has come to a close. Onison Edouard with a great chance for Celtic. Luke Bolton shot over the top for Dundee United. Two good saves from Benjamin Siegrist. And Dundee United will be delighted to have kept Celtic at bay at half-time. Not too many sides managed that. Half-time at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Celtic 0. There have been goals in the last 34 meetings in all competitions between these two sides. The last 0-0 was a memorable one. It was the League Cup semi-final of 2009, which then had 30 additional minutes, also goalless, before a marathon penalty shootout in which the first 16 penalties were scored, including by both goalkeepers eventually as the early ball comes in. And just as Dundee United did to Celtic in the first half when they flashed the ball across in the opening minutes, Celtic do the same. No takers for Celtic as McGregor pushes it wide onto Christie. Shapes to shoot. It's an excellent effort. It's another top-class save, and no wonder Ryan Christie looks disappointed. Benjamin Siegrist is in top form this afternoon. It's going to take something special to beat him. That looks special. Well, the save superseded it. McGregor dropped onto Christie. Important moments for Dundee United as they're under early pressure. Elyounoussi away from Nilsson into Greg Taylor. Taylor cuts it back. Edouard tried to shape to shoot. He's still going. Again, the goalkeeper is there. Well, Greg Taylor saw the striker had moved just to the left of the penalty spot, got away from Reynolds. Siegrist, the position in that time, key. Frimpong. Brown to Champ. Celtic seeking the opening goal. Elyounoussi. A swathe of tangerine in front of him. Back onto Scott Brown. Brown onto Christie. Christie with a drag back. Well, the efforts are rising for Ryan Christie. Again, it's beautifully done. Got it away from Robson, just tried to curl it back. Siegrist this time rooted to the spot and was quite happy to see that one drift wide. Now it's launched. Edward. And Mark Corley happy his goalkeeper came for that. Julian, it's a good run by the forward, but he wasn't going to get on the end of it. McGregor, Frimpong is in space, but he'll play it back onto Edward. Edward's going to take the direct route. Freeman just got a touch. And now Dundee United can break. Clark, sprawl. He doesn't really have any help, but he's going to try and cut inside Scott Brown. He's done so. Tried to play it back to Clark. Clark lays the ball back. The shot. And that's a decent stop from the goalkeeper coming in. Hard at him from Robson. Beaton. That was a lovely idea. We'll break back onto Edward. Edwards the flick through onto Forrest. Forrest trying to find a space to shoot. It opens up for him. Oh, James Forrest, he'd had his 88 Celtic goals. Cut inside, happy to take the shot. Either side, just up and over. So Albion Ajeti, signed on a 4-year deal, is about to make his Scottish Premiership debut. And it's Greg Taylor who goes off. Beaton. On to McGregor. Scott Brown taken down. Callum Butcher. Butcher's attempted block didn't work. Here's Edward. Edward opened up for him for a moment, then plays it in behind to Christie. Ajeti. On to McGregor. Well, seeking his 50th Celtic goal. Sends that one just wide. Scored once in 4 games against Dundee United. Threaded it through. Just couldn't put it on target. There's going to be a few nervous afternoons like this one all throughout the season. It's just the nature of it. Celtic unbeaten in the Scottish Premiership since Rangers beat them at the end of December. 12 games, won 10, lost 2, but in this new season they can't afford to drop 2 points at Tannadice. Here's Frimpong. Back onto Brown. Brown leads it off to Christie, tries his luck again, denied once more. It's another good save, might break down to Edward, back again, and it has found its way in. Albion Ajeti on his Scottish Premiership debut breaks the hearts of Dundee United. The beaming smile of Neil Lennon, he made the change, and the change changed the scoreline. Well, Ryan Christie all afternoon has been peppering the goal. The initial hit was a good one. Ajeti won the initial header and it came back, and you have to say Kieran Freeman's so unlucky on the line. This is hard on Dundee United, but it rewards Celtic's persistence, and Celtic find a way to get it done. And it's the new man with the right foot who finds his way past a triangle of players. Pollock's delivery, good play by Celtic to get it away, and Frimpong can help it on. Ajeti tries to return it to Frimpong. Frimpong plays it into the middle, chance for Celtic. Stepping in there was Forrest, but again the goalkeeper was out quickly. That would have tied it up. Full-time whistle at Tannadice, and it's joy for Neil Lennon. It's finished. Dundee United 0, Celtic 1.
If I think I was going to be standing here and going to be frustrated that we didn't get something out of that, then I think that that's, although a painful place to be standing, in time we'll be pleased because it will give us some work to work forward from. Because we obviously, I spoke to you before and I said we're going to get the ultimate test today, and then but for a little moment we might have come out of that with something.
No, I mean, you always have faith in the players that you have. First of all, their attitude was absolutely tremendous. You know, they didn't get frustrated, they kept going, and you know, we got the goal that we thoroughly deserved over the 90 minutes. I thought we were outstanding at times today, and just lacked the finishing touch at times. Keeper made a couple of great saves. We come up against a highly motivated team, which we expected. But I felt from 25 minutes on, we were totally dominant.
And Celtic get that all-important 3 points, but Dundee United, Shelley, they pushed them all the way in this match. I know you've been very impressed by Mickey Mellon's Dundee United this season, and even though they lost today, you're impressed again?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming up from the championships, you know, there was questions posed, but they just defend, they do the fundamentals really well. You can see here, positionally, I think they get it right. The starting positions, Chalmers, Clark and Bolton, they don't apply heavy pressure, but they just do enough to force Celtic into making an error. And you can see here the starting positions are fantastic, just close enough to make Celtic eventually put the ball out the pitch. And then they double up. Here's Butcher, you see him going in, it's controlled aggression. They know when to speed the game up, when to slow it down. You know, and they're all over the pitch. They work hard for one another. And then, you know, transitional moments are key for them. You know, you see here, eventually Harkes gets on the ball and they don't go back the way they want to go forward here. Great first touch.
Yeah.
And it's a brilliant pass out to Bolton, and I think he should do better here. He should at least make Barkas have a save there, but it's a brilliant move, and transitional moments are key for them, but they're so well organised defensively.
And great intensity from Dundee United at times. Obviously, Sean, Celtic dominating possession. It would just be a 1-0 victory in the end, but the champions always dangerous in wide areas. What was your analysis of Neil Lennon's side's performance today?
Yeah, no, I think they played well in probably 2/3 of the pitch. Dundee United, I've really enjoyed watching them this season. Really aggressive, but it's the quality of Celtic that when they get that first pass or the combination is correct, the timing, then they can cut through teams. And it was just in these final moments. Dundee United individually defended the box really, really well. But it's in these moments towards the end where you're looking for that final pass, final movement, just to maybe create something, and then you start relying on 1v1 individual quality, which Celtic have, and I think you saw that as the game progressed. You saw Forrest come on and do it, you saw Encham, but it was this really important that we've seen this earlier on in the season, 2v1s in wide areas, and again it's just those small margins which in the first week of the season we saw plenty of goals like that. I've
got to ask you, I mean, how much would you have enjoyed playing in this kind of Celtic team?
Yeah, no, they play with their wide players coming inside, so yeah, it must be a real joy to play as a wide player in this team.
Well, Albion, Ajeti, I know Neil Lennon was speaking to me yesterday in terms of his match fitness. He's not 100% match fit, but a great way to mark your entry for Celtic to get the winner in what was a difficult old match.
You could actually see a goal coming. I think the substitutions did make a difference here, and Celtic were relentless in the second half. There's a good initial save there, but you can see there Ajeti actually wins the header and he's alert to the second phase, and it's the one time that obviously Dundee United failed to keep the ball out the net, but it's a good finish.
Yeah, I mean the pressure's on all the time at this moment in time, Sean, in terms of the title race. And Celtic have obviously had this enforced layoff because of everything that's been going on. Rangers winning this afternoon, you know, the pressure's on Celtic every time they go on this pitch to get 3 points, and at times they're going to have to grind it out like they did today.
Yeah, for sure. I think we saw Rangers do similar against Kilmarnock, but no, sometimes games are going to be like this. It's really difficult to break teams down, and Celtic can be pleased with how they played for the majority of the game, and all they needed was one moment, and that's what they got.
Okay, let's move on. It's been a solid...
A big 3 points for Celtic at Tannadice last night. You can't help but feel, Stephen, that Ajeti goal already early in the season is very, very important.
Very big. I think on the back of them missing the games and Rangers having the games ahead of them. And throughout the game, for large parts of it, Dundee United more than matched them. So it's one that is probably the first big moment of the season, you would say?
Yep, without doubt. Benjamin Siegrist, Mikey, he's a former teammate of goalscorer Ajeti from the Basel Academy. He was in inspired form yesterday.
He's a good goalkeeper. You know, I've liked him for a good wee while, and he was in fine form yesterday. I mean, that's a really nice bit of play from Ryan Christie to, you know, cut back, get the strike. There's a wee deflection there, he gets a strong hand on it, and it was like that, you know, throughout the afternoon. When he was called into action, he was coming up and making saves. And Dundee United, you know, under Mickey Mellon, I like the way they're set up defensively. They've got a good structure about them. And whenever there was any deflections or rebounds, they had plenty of bodies back. This is a great save, an absolutely tremendous save. Very similar to the one that actually leads to the goal, except this time he manages to get it round the post. and this is a wonderful cross from Frimpong, but the goalkeeper's brave, he gets out and smothers it, and this is just good goalkeeping from a defensive perspective. When you see your goalie coming out and commanding like that, taking the ball, it gives confidence to the rest of the team. And you know, Celtic, you hear Neil Lennon there saying frustrated they didn't score more goals. There was certainly plenty of play in the final third and they got strikes on goal, but Siegrist was in good form.
He was. He finally did get beaten. It took 83 minutes for Celtic to break down that resistance, and it was £4.5 million man Ajeti that got the goal.
It was. The managers put him on to have an impact in a game that it did need it. They keep the ball going, like Michael said, good save from the goalie. I think they could try and get out the park, but the intelligence of Ajeti to keep that ball alive and the instinctive finish. There's a lot of bodies there. A lot of strikers would think put it high and try and miss them all.
It's
but
a great header that.
He does awfully well to keep it.
Keeps it such alive, and then even the finish is more instinctive as a forward. Keep it low rather than risking it going over the bar, and he gets his rewards in the end, and it'll be a huge relief to get that first goal for the club.
Yeah, Mikey mentioned briefly there, Mickey Mellon and what he likes about United. Nicky Clark, his work rate yesterday was impeccable, and that was kind of indicative of the squad as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, Nicky Clark's up top obviously on his own at the moment, no Lawrence Shankland, and he put in a power of work. You know, he was a sort of trigger for, you know, when they were going to impress him, but also just his link-up play, you know, really, really good, and alongside Logan and Chalmers and Pollock driving through from the middle of the park, I thought they had a wee bit more in the attack. You know, I was at Tannadice when Dundee United played Hibs, and defensively I thought they looked sound, but going forward they lacked a little bit of cohesion. They didn't really look as if they had an idea of what they were trying to do, but this is out of possession. You see the three of them, clear idea of what they're trying to do and frustrate and suffocate the attacks in its infancy. But also, you know, we've already seen when they had the ball and they were actually attacking, I thought there was a good cohesion amongst the front players, good vision, good awareness from Nicky Clark to see where his teammate is, and then the desire to continue to get up the park and try and affect the game in the final third. And he manages to get on it again and recirculate, and they get a good strike off here, and you know, the goalkeeper Barkas is called into action there. But Nicky Clark was, you know, he was a big performer yesterday for Dundee United.
Yeah, and they've got good chemistry in the squad as well.
It was. See, just on Nicky Clark there,
yeah.
It was a very intelligent performance, I'd say, not for being a big guy, and a lot of his work looked very simple, but from playing the position myself, the wee touches start everything, and that can't go on, shouldn't go unnoticed, should I say.
No, he had a good performance. I was going to say the chemistry within that United side's great. You know, they've got a mixture of youth and experience.
They have. They're a really enjoyable team to watch. I think I've watched most of their games this season, and they've got that burst of pace if they need it, but also the composure throughout the midfield, and even Reynolds and Conley at the back. It's not just shell it long and work. They know they need to play, and they do it, and they do it well. It's not side to side, slow pedestrian passing. They're cutting the lines, and that's effectively what starts their attacks.
Yeah, Mikey, have the cancelled games that Celtic have had, has it added pressure on them? You know, they're always playing catch up now, looking above them at Rangers. Do you think there's an added pressure with games?
Well, perhaps, but look, this is a team that have played under pressure for a number of years. All you need to do is look at what happened in the second half of last season when there was real pressure on, and you know, there was speculation and chat that Rangers were going to win the league. They were ahead of Celtic and they went on a fantastic run, and you know, managed to get themselves clear at the top. So yes, there's a bit of pressure, but it's not something that would be unusual for that team to handle and to you know, just get on with it and pick up results. That's the most important thing at this stage. You know, Nazy was talking about it before with Aberdeen. Performances will come. The important thing is getting results, and you know, I think Celtic will be quite happy.
They look comfortable with their squad, don't they? They all look good around each other.
They do. Right, we must move on. Stephen?